Okay, it's time to help solve some of your employees' problems, and one way to do it is using the 1-3-1 method. One of the reasons why we've been promoted is our ability to solve problems. And when an employee comes to us with a new problem or something they need solved, we can't help ourselves. We get drawn in and we want to help them, and we want to help them solve that problem. But there's a problem with this. The problem number one is that we start taking on more work for ourselves, and that starts expanding out. And I don't know about you, but time management starts to become an issue when you're trying to solve all these problems and you're trying to do your own work. So we run into a time management on our own schedule if we're trying to solve our employees' problems. And the second problem that comes up with that is we're not helping them solve their own problems and training them on how to problem solve and figure out their own solutions. This method is broken into 3 parts. And it's structured to help employees have a framework by which they can solve the problems that they are facing. And the way it works is you ask 3 questions of your employees. Question number 1 is, what is the one problem that needs to be solved? It may seem like an obvious question, but what you're going for is trying to pick out the one tangible problem that needs to be fixed. If they can't articulate that, if it's a vague problem, well then that's the thing you need to figure out. That's the question, that's the problem that needs to be solved, is what is the problem? So the goal is to bottom line, get them to bottom line the tangible thing that needs to be solved in that one instance. This helps train your employees to prioritize on what are practical solutions, or not practical solutions, but practical issues, and then to prioritize what is the most important thing that needs to be solved in this moment. Once you've figured out what the problem is, the next question you want to ask your employees is, what are 3 things that might help solve this problem? What are 3 options? What are 3 ideas? What are 3 methods? Whatever it happens to be. Get them to figure out 3 different ways of solving this problem. What this helps do is it encourages creativity and lateral thinking on your employee. Now, sometimes they may need some time to figure this out. They may not be able to solve that in the meeting with you right then. So give them time, but schedule a follow-up meeting soon, whether it's later that day or the following day, definitely within 24 hours, because otherwise they may just drift on and not get the problem solved. The goal here is get them into action with creative solutions. The final question you want to ask your employee, once they've come up with 3 different possible solutions, is you want to ask them, what do you think we should do? Give them the power to make that decision. Obviously, you're going to be there to help support them, but the goal here is to encourage them to take accountability and ownership of the work that they do. They've come up with solutions. They now get to choose which solution they are going to implement. And of course, once they make a decision, your role as a manager is to help support them through that and help clear away any barriers, make sure that they have the tools they need to solve that problem. But basically, you are there to help them make that happen. This is such a great view. After a while of asking these 3 questions to your employees and helping them help themselves solve the problems, they will eventually figure out how this works, and they will start doing this automatically and on their own. And they will come to you with here's the problem, here are my 3 ideas, and I think we should do this. In fact, you can encourage them to get to that place, because these are the kinds of problem-solving skills that are going to be helpful when they get into difficulty. So what do you think? Is that useful? Is that helpful? What about you? Do you have any suggestions as to how you can help your employees solve problems? Let me know in the comments below. And for those of you who found this on YouTube, click like and subscribe for more. And those of you who found me on LinkedIn, follow my profile. I make updates about every week, and you can get updates then. And I'm I'm surrounded by dogs today. I've been trying to avoid them throughout this entire walk, but occasionally they just jump into frame. To wrap up, my name is Matthew Devine. I'm an executive and leadership coach based here in Toronto, Canada, and my job is to help support new engineering managers with practical solutions, practical support to their leadership challenges to help them be more efficient, effective, and to be inspiring for their teams. Until next time, let's get to work.